Hello everyone and welcome to Sbu-Tv Sports' special edition profile. Today I am joined by St. Bonaventure alum and ESPN senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski, or better known to the public as Woj. Adrian, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to speak with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Ryan. It's great to be back on Sbu-Tv.
Describe what your media journey has been like for you.
I think each step of the way prepared you for the next, and I always am proud of the path I took. From Bonaventure to the Waterbury paper in Connecticut, a small daily, to a little bigger paper in Fresno, California, back to east to the Bergen Record, and then the Yahoo. I was in my mid-30s, really, before I had sort of a national stage at Yahoo, and that was still just starting out as a sports site. So I look back really fondly on all the steps along the way that helped to prepare me for a career, and none were more important or vital to me than my time at St. Bonaventure.
A lot of SBU school people kind of know the origination of the Woj bomb, or at least what's widely considered as the first one. But what is your origination story, and talk about how that simple phrase has kind of became your persona?
You know, I don't know what it is. I don't really remember where it started or who said it. I'll be honest, it's not that important to me. What's important is the work and the time it takes to do the reporting, to get stories right. I mean, it's a term that obviously took on a life of its own, but I honestly don't remember where it started or when I first started hearing it.
And then to get a little bit into your personal life, you're tweeting out breaking news stories at all hours of the day and night, it seems like. And just what's your sleep schedule like, or are you secretly a vampire and you just never sleep waiting for the next scoop?
Sometimes it depends on the time of the year, what the calendar looks like. There's certain times where it's a little more of a 24/7 news cycle. I mean, it's probably always a 24/7 news cycle, but there's certain times of the year where the intensity or the volume of the stories increases, and then there's certain times where sometimes it's certainly less so.
A man who has as many contacts as you do can't possibly just have one phone. So what's your phone situation like? Is there one for media and one for personal, or do you just have one phone and you just buy that Apple storage upgrade to have it all on one?
Yeah, I do have two phones, but I really only use one. Sometimes around the trade deadline or free agency, I keep the second one around because you can text messages can come through both on the same, but typically I'm just using one phone.
Some people refer to the LeBron James versus Michael Jordan as the premier GOAT debate, but others will say it's Sham versus Woj. So kind of talk about your relationship with Shams and what kind of rivalry there is between you two, if it's just friendly or if that's all speculation by fans that there even is a rivalry.
It's a very competitive industry. There's a lot of people out there competing in the marketplace. It's always been that way. When I started at Yahoo, and I was competing with the guys at ESPN, and then I go to ESPN and you're competing with guys elsewhere. And I think, the focus in this job has got to be on yourself and the work you're doing, because that's all you can control. You've got to be committed in working at this every day, almost every hour, to be able to compete in this realm. I remember once going to take the trash out when we lived elsewhere in New Jersey, and I was at the Bergen Record. I was waiting for Bill Parcells, who at the time was a Jets coach, to call me back for something I was working on. And I remember racing downstairs. I remember I had to take, I think it was trash or something. Sure enough, I come back, he called, I missed the call. And so you were at the mercy of that. You didn't know if you'd get him on the phone again before he left the office.
You're up there with, Chris DePlaca and Mike Vaccaro as, one of the more successful people, if not the most successful person to come out of the communications field here at SBU. So what does that mean to you, and what do you love about St. Bonaventure that gets you to come back to campus so often?
Two people you just mentioned there, Chris DePlaca, Mike Vaccaro. Chris was and still is an incredible mentor of mine. And then Mike Vaccaro, who was the editor of the paper when I came in as a freshman, and then he's gone on, he's been an incredible friend. He's the godfather to our son, Ben, my wife, Amy, and I, who is also a J School grad and a former Hellinger winner. The Giandoli School can hold their own and stand shoulder to shoulder with the very best from anywhere. So I'm proud to be part of that lineage. And we were up at campus the other day, and I love seeing on the side of the journalism school, so the faces of the Giandoli School, and seeing all the current students, who are going to have big jobs in the future and who are going to contribute, during their time at Bonas and then on, that's really exciting for me.
Adrian, that's all I got for you. I really appreciate your time today, and go Bonnies.
Thanks, Ryan. Go Bonnies. Thanks for having me. Have a great semester.